Zhu knew that there were traps near Zhang Yi's house, so he didn't dare to come over. Wait for me a moment, I'll be here right away. He reached out and took out the snowmobile from the alien space, opened the door and said to him, "Come up, it's too cold outside." Fatty Zhu happily sat in the passenger seat, and Zhang Yi turned on the air conditioner in the car. "Brother Zhang, where are we going today?" Zhang Yi said calmly, "Go to a school and save someone." "Save someone? Oh, I understand. That must be your important relative or friend, Brother Zhang." "Right." Fatty Zhu looked serious. Zhang Yi curled his lips slightly. "A very important person, pretty much." Not long after Fatty Zhu was moved, his talkative nature started to show up again. He kept nagging in Zhang Yi's ears, wishing he could tell Zhang Yi everything about him from childhood to adulthood. Zhang Yi was also quite speechless, now that they had met. He couldn't even use his smart voice to deal with Fatty Zhu. "The Lily from our village, I'm not bragging to you. She has definitely been secretly in love with me for a long time. By the way, what is the attitude of the people in your village towards me now?" Zhang Yi asked this question deliberately. Fatty Zhu's words stopped suddenly, and his expression became strange. This, you still need to ask? Zhang Yi killed or maimed half the men in their village. It is absolutely impossible to expect those people to be grateful to him. The two people were waiting in the car, not long after. The snowmobile appeared on the other side of the road. Soon, Uncle Yu drove the car closer. "Zhang Yi. Long time no see." Uncle Yu was very happy to see Zhang Yi and came over to say hello cheerfully. When Zhang Yi saw Uncle Yu, his eyes also showed admiration. Uncle Yu's ability is physical strengthening, which can strengthen his physical strength and increase cell activity. Therefore, his physical strength is extremely powerful, and his self-healing ability is far beyond the ordinary. "Long time no see, Uncle Yu. You are in good condition now." Uncle Yu raised his arms proudly. "That's right, I feel 10 years younger now. Like a man in his 30s. Young man, your physical strength and energy are at their strongest." Zhang Yi introduced Fatty Zhu to Uncle Yu. "This is Fatty Zhu. Zhu Chunli, a user with ice and snow abilities. He can control ice and snow. This is Uncle Yu Jiguang, a user with physical enhancement abilities, a respectable veteran." Fatty Zhu and Uncle Yu said hello, and we were acquainted. However, both of them were murmuring in their hearts. Are the three people at the scene strangers? This is only the early stage of the end of the world, and those who are awakened are extremely rare. Uncle Yu couldn't hide his thoughts, and asked Zhang Yi with his arms crossed, "Zhang Yi, what are you going to do this time? Do you need the three of us to go there together?" Fatty Zhu also looked curious. "Three strangers are working together. I'm afraid the other parties is en small." Zhang Yi waved his hand. "It's not as complicated as you think. Just go to school to save a female student." Female student. The eyes of Uncle Yu and Fatty Zhu became eager. "How old? In college? How old are in elementary?" Zhang Yi said, "She is my girlfriend's sister. I just found her trace. She is in the school more than 20 kilometers away from here. I found something abnormal nearby, maybe a mutated creature. For safety reasons, I called you here." Fatty Zhu noticed something was wrong from Zhang Yi's name. "Mutated creatures, aren't they mutant people?" Zhang Yi sneered. "Who said that only people can mutate?" "People can mutate, and any cell organism can mutate." Uncle Yu asked curiously, "Do you know what it is?" Zhang Yi shook his head. "I don't know either. Tianhai City has quite a complete range of species. There are so many people raising pets. And there are also marine fish, shrimps and crabs in the seafood market. Who knows what kind of thing mutated into a spirit? Of course, it might be a human, but if it's a human, he must have gone crazy." Zhang Yi thought of the penetrating voice, which was definitely not something that normal human vocal cords could produce. Uncle Yu laughed and said, "It doesn't matter. No matter what it is, the three of us can clean it up properly when we go there together, right?" Zhang Yi nodded. "That's what I mean, the three of us together. Nothing can endanger our safety." Uncle Yu nodded. "Then what are you waiting for? Let's go." "Okay, let's go." Zhang Yi and Fatty Zhu got on the snowmobile, while Uncle Yu he was riding the motorcycle Zhang Yi gave him. Zhang Yi started the car and drove towards Tianqin College, with Uncle Yu riding a motorcycle beside him. Heavy white snow has covered the entire campus, except for a few bell towers and the spires of tall buildings emerging from the snow. This top aristocratic school, covering an area of 2,000 acres, has completely disappeared from the ground. At this time, there was a group of students taking refuge in a gymnasium in the school, under the snow. The air was thin, coupled with the horrific incidents they had experienced in the past few days, making everyone physically and mentally exhausted. Yang Xinshin, who can only sit in a wheelchair, is regarded as a burden even if she does nothing. Some people even blamed Yang Xinshin for the death of their friend. Everyone else is dead. Why can you still live as a cripple? Is it because of your existence that everyone is killed? Once this topic begins, it is difficult to end. Everyone seemed to have found an outlet to vent their anger, and they all looked at Yang Xinshin with angry eyes. At this time, a boy with his back against the wall and a delicate perm said helplessly, "What's the use of talking about it? Teacher Liang is reluctant to leave one person behind every time. What's the result? Oh, aren't more and more people dying?" Several girls around them showed fear and helplessness on their tired faces. Girl with wavy hair caught a glimpse of Yang Xinshin in a wheelchair. For no reason, a strong feeling of disgust arose in her heart. So many people have died. Why is this disabled person still alive? It's so troublesome to have to take her with me. Every time we run away, Teacher Liang is also serious. Why don't we just let her feed the monsters? That's right. What's the point of her? She looks like this. Maybe she will die of illness one day. Criticism of Yang Xinshin gave them pleasure in this despair. Just throw all the responsibility on Yang Xinshin. It was as if they could all survive if Yang Xinshin died. I think she is also a burden if she dies. Won't everyone have to work so hard escaping the monster? If she dies, the monsters won't let us go, but if there is a next time, we will leave her to seduce the monsters as bait. In that case, at least her sacrifice will be meaningful. Among the people to talk about Yang Xinshin, a girl with a ponytail suddenly stood up, with a weird smile on her face. She walked step by step in front of Yang Xinshin with her hands behind her back. Zhang Mengning walked up to Yang Xinshin and looked down at her condescendingly. Her eyes slowly turned vicious and said to Yang Xinshin, "Yang Xinshin, please die as soon as possible."